But I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna teach y'all how to make some chicken and dumplings. Boy, it's gonna be so good. So let's get started on it right here. Come over here and let's take a look at what we got. So if you're gonna make chicken and dumplings, the one thing you got to have is the chicken. And so we got us a big old chicken right here. It's all nice and thawed out and everything. And when you get them like this, you gotta go down inside of them and make sure you get all them things out that's in there, all that. I don't know what it is. We just get that all out of there, see? They just, you know, you gotta get all that stuff out. It's the entrails. No, it ain't the entrails. It's the gizzard and the neck bone, all them other things. We just get that all out of there, see? We get that out and it's all there for you. You can feed that to the dog. We don't eat that around here, so a lot of people do, but we don't. We're gonna rinse him out a little bit here and get all the stuff out from inside of him. All right, like that. All right, yeah. We're gonna do this chicken fast. So many people using these Instant Pots right now. Well, I'm not quite that fancy. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to use one of the most dangerous kitchen things in the world, and that's a stovetop pressure cooker. I kind of like to tender them up. Now, the way you tender them up is like this. You do the chicken dance. No, I'm kidding. So we got us our pressure cooker right here. It's got one of them trays at the bottom to it. So what you want to do is you want to put the water in. It don't need to come up through these holes. All right? So we're just going to put enough water that we cover up that bottom kind of stuff. You don't want your food sitting in the water. Not when you're doing a pressure cooker. You don't want your food sitting in the water. We're going to set it right here. We're going to take a look down in here and see. All right, that's right about perfect. You can just take and put your chicken right in there. Now, if you've got one of them Instant Pots, one of them fancy Instant Pots, or you got another type of a pressure cooker, you look in your directions and see how long they tell you ought to cook your chicken. We're going to put this one on the stove here. We're going to go ahead and cut the fire on. All right, we're gonna cut that fire up. We're gonna put it on high. Yes, we are. We're just gonna let that come up. Now, what I like to do is when it's in here, I kind of put some seasoning on it, get all kinds of stuff on it. Now, my favorite one to use on this chicken is the salt. Now, I put a lot of salt. You know how I do. We do a lot of salt. So we're gonna sprinkle some of that on there. And then we like garlic too. I like a little bit of garlic on there. So we're gonna sprinkle some garlic powder on there. We're gonna put some pepper in here. We like pepper. And one other thing that we like to use, a little Old Bay. All right, we like a little Old Bay. Get in there. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You know, people say these are dangerous, and you know it is under pressure and everything, but it's not too awful dangerous. This one ain't blowed up twice on us, and I think we probably gonna be okay. But what you do is kind of line it up like that, and see it slipped all down around there, and then you just give it a twist, and that's it. What you need to do is you need to start timing the cooking of your meat once the thingamabobber starts doing its thing-a-jig-a-dig. All right, and so once that starts, then you start timing. Then when it starts dancing around real good, you want it to dance with this chicken for about 30 to 45 minutes, all right? And we're gonna let this one go 45 because when we pick this chicken, we want it so done that it is just basically a falling off the bone. Look at the clock right there. It's 7 o'clock right now, and we'll use that right there and we'll judge how long it takes this thing to get up to pressure. So if you're gonna use one like this, you'll know just about how long it's going to take. All right, so we're going to be back in just a few moments when this thing starts coming up to pressure. All right, so let's take a look here. We've been 10 minutes on this, and you can start seeing the steam coming up, and you can start seeing that little bobber there start to jiggle just a little bit, and it ain't quite up to temperature yet. And we're going to leave this on high until that starts dancing around. When that starts dancing around, we're going to cut it down a little bit, all right? Give you another 5 minutes and we'll check on it again. It's been 15 minutes now, and you can hear the water in there boiling a little bit, and it's starting to jiggle. That means it's time to cut the fire back. So what we're going to do is cut it back to like medium heat for just a minute, and we want to make sure it keeps the jiggling. If it gets to jiggling too hard on you, you want to cut the fire back a little bit more. All right, so we're going to let that go another 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and check on it. So we've been doing this about 25 minutes here, and so when I cut it back to medium, it almost stopped jiggling. So I want it to just kind of jiggle. Now see how that thing's just dancing just a little bit? What you want is a slow dance like that. All right, you want a slow dance? You don't want no rock and roll dancing or no break dancing or nothing. You just want it to slow dance up there. All right, and so it don't have to dance hard. So we're gonna leave it like that. Now it started pressuring, it started that jiggle dance at 7:15. We're gonna let this go 45 minutes. So at 8 o'clock, we'll come back and we'll show you how to let the pressure off and all that kind of good stuff. All right? All right, y'all, it's 8 o'clock. So we said we're gonna let this go till 8 o'clock. So we're gonna cut the fire off. We're going to take and pull it off this side. Do it nice like that. Some of these pots have a pressure release on them, so you can do that. So this button right here will kind of let that out. So we're going to let it out a little bit at a time. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. Now, I tell you what, we're cooking this chicken a day before we're going to do the dumplings, all right? Now, tomorrow we're going to have chicken and dumplings, and it's gonna be so good. Now the dumplings that we're gonna make, they're flour dumplings, and they're not noodles. It's not pastry. This is dumplings. All right. Some people make cornbread dumplings, and that's all right if you want it to taste nasty. But we don't like nasty dumplings. Cornmeal dumplings is nasty. We like biscuit dumplings, and so we'll get into that. This thing's got a lot of gas. It's kind of like my Aunt Bertha. She used to sizzle and make noises like this too. Sorry, Aunt Bertha. We love you though. We love you so much. So you push this down and open it up. Now you follow the recommended instructions for your pressure cookers, and you don't have to worry about these things blowing up on you. So what you want to do is be careful when you open it. BAM! Oh! I'm just kidding. You jumped, didn't you? There we go. Whoa, yeah. Keep as much of this here chicken broth down in there as you can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at there. Yeah. Oh, look at there. Woo, yeah. Look how tender that is. I mean, it's just falling apart. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool off so that we can handle it. We're just going to leave it right here. All right, y'all. It's been about 30 minutes. We'll let this thing cool off some, and we're gonna put it out on a plate. The nice thing about this one we got here is got some nice handles. So you can lift it right up out of there. All right, got it up out of there. Let's carry it right over here. We'll start turning it up. It's time to tear this chicken up, and we just do this with our hands. That's the best way to do it. And it gets a little messy, but we try to clean it up the best we can. We don't want any gristle or anything really like that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Have me a little plate there for the trash. And see this chicken, look at that bone. That there leg bone, chicken leg bone just come off. We're going to break this up into smaller pieces so our people can eat it. I put the fat in here too. That makes it good. I put the skin in here. I put everything in here. That's where a lot of your seasoning and your flavoring is. It's still a little bit warm, but you ought to be able to go ahead and handle it and not get scalded or nothing. Again, we keeping some of this skin in there. You don't have to put the skin in there if you don't want to. So you can pull that skin off. You can peel that skin off, put it over there if you want to. You don't have to put it in here, but it sure makes it taste good if you do. I'm gonna sneak that piece back in there. All right. I'm telling you, look at it. It's just basically picking itself. You know, when you do this in the pressure cooker, it just basically falls apart. It really does. And if it's too hot to handle, then just give it a little bit more time. It's kind of like some girls I've known. They're too hot to handle. you might have to leave them alone. That's the best thing. Oh, I know. This is a family show. I'm sorry. It's a little bit warm. Yeah. I'm telling you, if it's a little bit too hot for you, what you can do is you can get you one of them grabbers. I like these grabbers right here. These are my favorite grabbers. I call them grabber. I don't know what they are, but you can just kind of, you can use that a little bit and let your fingers cool off some. You're just gonna pick it up. See how that'll just pick it right up and you don't get no trash in it? All right. You can also pour this out on the counter if you want to. You can use a couple of forks to pull it apart if you want to. We want to keep our chicken broth. We want all of this. We need it. It is this stuff. This right here tastes so good, and it's where all the seasoning and everything is all down in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this out right here. I want to get just as much as I can. See there, clean as a whistle. All right, and then we're going to cover this up. We're going to cover these two up right here. So we cover these up like this to keep them, they'll cool off and keep all the flies and the gnats and the bugs and the worms and the stuff out of them. All right, and that's a good way to do that. And here in a minute when they cool off, we're going to put some lids on them. We're going to put them in the refrigerator because we're going to save this and we're going to use all this right here to make some of the best chicken and dumplings that you ever had. And we're going to do all that tomorrow. All right, y'all, now it's time to make our chicken and dumplings. So we got our stock here that we made yesterday, and you see it's congealed a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna put it right here in this pot. We're just gonna pour it right in. See there? Yeah, buddy. And we're gonna get all this goodness in there. All right, so we're gonna move this over there, and we're gonna turn this up on high. Now, what we're gonna do in there to make it a little richer, because I'm gonna add some water to it, we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter in there. All right, we'll use a measuring cup. We're getting fancy now. Yeah, we're gonna use a measuring cup. Let's see here. Let's put a couple of, that's a lot of chicken we got, okay? All right, so we're gonna add 2 cups of that in there. We're gonna stir it around. And we're gonna let that butter get all melted up in there. So now we're gonna take this chicken that we left it in there, and we're gonna let it get warm over here with this too. So we're just gonna dump it right back in there. Now, that's an awful lot of chicken. You might not wanna use all of it, but we'll get it in there. Let it come up to heat all together. You can use your finger as a thermometer. Ow! It's hot. No, it ain't hot. You're gonna have to taste it and see if it needs any salt or not, so you just get you a little bit out here before it gets too hot on you. Oh yeah, yeah. It needs a lot of salt, it do. So we're gonna start, don't put too much in to start with. Don't put too much in to start with. You can always add some, but boy, I'm telling you what, it is hard to take it out. Yes, it is. Hard to take it out. Then you're gonna whoop it around like this, agitate it some. So we're gonna put the lid to it and let that be warming up. So we gotta make up our dumplings. So this is kind of sort of like, almost like we do biscuits, but I'm gonna do this different for you. I'm actually gonna measure some stuff this time. Don't have a heart attack or a stroke or nothing, because Uncle Coot normally don't do this. We're gonna start out with 2 cups. All right, let's take it down. Now I don't sift it. Don't need to sift this. This ain't biscuits, okay? So this is different. So we're gonna put it right here in a bowl for you. See there? All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about a tablespoon of this and put it in there, and 2 tablespoons of this, about this much. Well, you know what? That looks like a lot to me. Let's do this to start with. I'm gonna take that and put that off like that. All right. Nah, throw it all in there. Yeah, that'll make it good. Now that's a deep bowl. You can do this in a shallow bowl if you want to. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna mash this up in there. Mash this up in there. You can do it with a fork if you want to. All right, I'll tell you what some people do. They use one of these pie, I don't know what you call it, one of these mashers. Might call it a masher. And what you want to do is just get your flour crumbly. This is a little bit of a different process than how we were doing the biscuits in the bread bowl, where we kind of put it all in there together and stuff. You want it crumbly, and I can tell right now it's not got enough crumbles in it. We're gonna put just a little more of this. Well, this ain't lard, but it's city lard. Crisco, it does all right. We're just gonna cut it up until we take a look at it here. I think they call this a pastry cutter or something. It ain't too sharp though. I'm gonna have cuts nothing, but anyway, that's what they say. All right, and once you think you got it crumbly. See now how crumbly that looks? A lot crumblier than it did a minute ago. And that's what you want. A lot of this you do by sight, by feel, get it crumbly. Yeah. And once you've done that, you can kind of feel here and see, yes, it's nice and soft crumbles in there, and that's what you want. You don't want to mash them up too much. Now, let's get us some milk. We're not going to use buttermilk. Don't use buttermilk in your dumplings. If you use buttermilk in your dumplings, they'll be too soft and they'll boil away to nothing, okay? And we want these to stay with us. Now, we got just about enough milk, looks like, to do this. Let's measure this out a little bit. Let's just start here with 3/4 of a cup. Let's try 3/4 of a cup and see if we like that or not. We're just gonna mix it around here until it starts coming together. Yes. Oh, it's gonna be a little too stiff. I don't want it that stiff. See how stiff it is? I want it a little. So that was 3/4. Let's give another quarter. And we give another quarter. That's a cup. Let's just put it in a little at a time. Yeah, that's gonna be about right, I believe. Mix that around. Again, this is all by sight. Well, you know, that's how I cook. That's why I don't give no recipes out. All right. So this is looking more like it. This up off the sides. Now that's getting a little better. See how it wants to stick to your fork, kinda. I tell you, it's almost perfect, but I just need a smidgen more. Not much. Uh-oh. Look out now. That flour wants to get in her too. Here we go. So you see, it's a lot looser than biscuits. Yes, it is. And that's going to make some nice, see it all? It's holding on pretty good now. All right? That's what we want. Something like that. All right. So we're fixing to drop this dough in there. So let's have you come around over here. Got this thing in the way. Let's get rid of it. Oh, at my clean side. There we go. That's where it's supposed to be. Now you're going to take this lid off. It's not too hot, but it might get hot in a minute. So I'm going to take that like that right there. And you see, show them how it's boiling there. It's just a little, kind of a roll, not really a hard boil, but just a little bit of a boil like that. And I'm going to drop these in here by the spoonful. So I'm going to take me a spoon. I'm just going to drop it in there. See that? Just going to plop them. And if you'll keep your finger wet, it won't stick. Keep this water running here just a little bit. That way it won't stick. Now, we got an awful lot of dumplings here. We may use them all. We may not. But see how they float around in there? That's what you want. They don't have to be the same. Now this ain't pastry. This ain't rolling them out. No. These are biscuit dumplings. Yes. And you see them already swelling up. And that means they're going to be nice. We're going to get these in here. They don't have to be any. See, that had a little stringer on him. That's okay. Just drop them in there. We've turned our heat back enough now that you don't have to worry about that chicken getting scorched or nothing. So we just putting them in here, dropping them in. See how it sinks down? Gets down in there in that buttery and chicken fat goodness. And we just gonna let these dumplings, they're gonna end up like biscuits. I'm telling you, you're gonna really wish you could eat one of these. Somebody said, hey, you making that like Cracker Barrel. Shit, Cracker Barrel makes them like me. They stole my recipe. I ought to see somebody about that. No, I'm kidding. You know, southern chicken and dumplings, boy. I'm telling you what. Woo! I tell you what this is like. This is a dumpling hot tub. they all having a big time in there. Look at them. Yes! You can hear that music. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to make sure even those last ones that we put in there, they get down in that, all right? And then we got our lid we're gonna put on here. And what you do is just wait. So we're gonna wait on this about 15 minutes and then we're gonna check them, all right? We're gonna put this down on low. We're gonna let them sit there about 15 minutes and then we're gonna check them and see that they're done inside, all right? All right, we've let these go about 20 minutes, so come and look. Oh my, don't them look good? You don't want them to boil hard, you just want them to simmer. If they boil hard, they'll break apart on you. Now let's see what we got here. Let's get us out some chicken and dumplings. Ooh, get me a little more chicken. Yes, yes, yes. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look good? Ooh, I'm telling you what, I told you Cracker Barrel, they stole my recipe. Let's take a look at it. Let's look right here. Get up good and close and look inside. Woo! Look at there. That's near about perfect. I'm telling you what. Them is some good chicken and dumplings right there. Now I'm telling you what. You've watched this video. Now you can make your folks some nice chicken and dumplings. I'm telling you, folks will go absolutely crazy over them. My family just go nuts over them. They want them every meal. But I tell them I can't make it every meal. Well, thank y'all for spending some time with me on Cooking with Coot. Bye-bye. Hey, y'all, don't forget to mash the subscribe and the like button. I'd appreciate it. And tell all your friends to watch Cooking with Coot. I'll teach them how to make their food happy.